What up, guys? James from Bolt Bros here. Got some news. Looks like we finally got a head athletic trainer now hired for the Chargers. Interesting hire all around, but let's get into it. Bolt Bros, let's go. So, finally, after about 4 months after we fired our last head athletic trainer, Damon Mitchell, who has been with the team for such a long time. I mean, it was almost 30 years, I believe it might have been. We have finally got a new head athletic trainer. I would assume maybe that we're just kind of, we're just toying with the idea that he might be, what kind of things can he do? Maybe he was even at our facilities at some point, but I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what was going on there and why it took so dang long to be able to get that guy. But per Daniel Popper here, looks like we got Mark Zacconi, who is one internal guy who is being promoted to the director of player health and performance. And Zacconi was currently an associate athletic trainer, so he basically got a promotion. And then we are hiring Sal Lopez from the Titans as a head athletic trainer. So it's definitely a move that we have been waiting for. It's a move that we have wanted to see what's going on here. The interesting thing about it is wasn't last year Titans one of the worst teams, actually the second most injured team in the league, according to adjusted games lost, and actually even beating out the Chargers too. So it's not like it was like a great hiring by any means. But looking back on the history of things, maybe last year was just a fluke with the Titans. It did look like in 2021, they were the sixth healthiest team. 2020, they were 12th healthiest team. 2019, they were the third healthiest team. So, and actually, even 2018, they were the 11th healthiest team. So, 2022 seemed kind of more of a fluke with the Titans, but all around, I think it's a very, very good move to at least get somebody in here that has had some good, healthy teams in the past and could potentially help out the Chargers to become a healthier team. Because, gosh, my goodness, it's wild to be able to see how bad our team has been snake bitten all around for injuries all around. So it's crazy to think about. We've had Damon Mitchell here too for such a long period of time with going through long history of issues of health all around. So crazy thing that I did look at just at Damon Mitchell, just which is wild to see, but basically through Mike McCoy's, um, head coaching time with the Chargers, I think we were almost, I think it was 26th, 28th, 30th, and it might have been one other like 25th or something like that, to where we were basically one of the worst teams for injuries in the season. So we have had way too many injuries under him, and it's crazy how he was able to stick around. I mean, he didn't become a head athletic trainer till about 6 years ago, but at the same side, he was part of that same team too, to be able to keep this team healthy. So I did want to kind of just talk about Marco Zacconi being promoted to director of player health and kind of why that happened. It's kind of an interesting thing that kind of came up yesterday with JC Jackson, to talk a little bit about where his status is and what his health looks like at this moment. But it's kind of interesting because this is the reason why basically Marco did get the promotion. He actually gave a shout out to Marco about what's going on with his patellar tendon and how he's been working through it. Basically, he said, "Hey, look, the reason why I'm here is because of Marco. He was basically there with him from the beginning." He credited basically Marco as recently elevated to team's director of player health and performance for helping guide his offseason rehab process. I mean, if you've paid much attention to what's going on with JC Jackson, I mean, to the point of mid-January, looking like he could barely move his leg on a bike, to just this last week, seeing him, do his drills of, being a cornerback, running forward, backwards, looking like his movements are getting there to the point to where things are going to be, closer to where he could potentially start on week 1. Now, Brandon Staley did say, hey, he did not give kind of a timeline on it, but we'll see where he's at. Apparently, JC Jackson does have an appointment on June 19 with Dr. Neil El Tracte, I think is how you say his last name. And he'll kind of give him possibly the green light or kind of see where his progression is at this moment in time. So it's very cool to be able to see that. But shout out to Marco Zucconi to be able to get things kind of moving for JC Jackson and put him in the right direction here. Because I mean, man, having JC Jackson out there and a guy that is known as one of the best cornerbacks in the league, Mr. INT, have him back on the field would be massive for us all around. So I'm very much looking forward to that, and to be able to see what the doctor gives as a green light for JC Jackson. So excited to hear that. But once again, the changes are we do have our guy. We got our new head of director and player health performance, Sal Lopez, who has basically been, or excuse me, Sal Lopez is now the head athletic trainer, and did come from the Titans. So, history recently, last year wasn't beautiful for him, but at the same side, history wise has been pretty healthy all around. So it's good to be able to see that. And Marco Zucconi was promoted to associate athletic trainer to director of player health and performance. So it's good to be able to see these adjustments all around. And, and the thing is, guys, like, people could be pretty critical about, Brandon Staley and everything. I'm a big fan of Brandon Staley, and I think Brandon Staley is making adjustments to make this organization, can I talk, just all around better for this team, for the players and everything too. And we do got a whole new facility that we're going to be having opening up in El Segundo next year. I think they really want to set a very, very good, organization, better culture all around. And I think that we're kind of getting in those right steps. So I think Brandon Staley is doing some really good things all around. So just wanted to give you guys an update on that. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this. Like, subscribe, sub. Always appreciate you guys' supports. Let's go. We out. Bolt Bros. Let's go.